Hello, students. Welcome to another exciting lesson with Mrs. Tega Festus. I believed you enjoyed the last video. Hope you learned a lot from that lesson. I look forward to you enjoying this lesson. The topic before us is workshop safety and first aid. So first we'll start by defining or knowing the meaning of safety. Safety is defined as freedom from danger. It is the protection from harm or injury, as well as removal of factors that can lead to accidents. Safety must be ensured in the workshop. A workshop is a place where technical and engineering works are carried out. So workshop safety is defined as the protection from risks of harm or injury to humans or damage to machines and tools in the workshop. Safety rules exist in all work and domestic environments so as to provide a healthy and suitable environment for humans. So we'll be seeing workshop safety precautions. Number one, wear the right clothes for the job. Every work environment has their specific dress code. For example, those working in construction sites or welding sites, they must always put on their overall, their goggles, their gloves, and safety boots. This to ensure their overall safety. Dress code promotes professionalism and safety. So number two, we have wear safety gear. Safety gear is a must-wear for those working with machinery and on construction sites. For example, companies include safety gear in dress code when it's necessary for your job. Safety gear is a precaution against hazards and dangerous working conditions. So as a worker in such environment, you must use those things. Number three, maintain a good personal hygiene. Maintain your personal hygiene such as cleanliness to prevent illness at work. Good hygiene can also help promote health and self-esteem. Number four, take responsibility for your safety. To take responsibility for your safety means ensuring that you follow safety procedures. Keeping the workplace safe can create a safe environment, not just for you, but for everyone else. So try as much as possible to avoid any form of accident. Number five, maintain a clean workspace. It is important to keep your desks or other personal workplaces clean. Be sure to put away supplies when they are not in use. Number six, learn how to act in emergency. Learn emergency protocols, including where to run to in case of fire outbreak or who to call in case of an emergency, or even in case of what to do when a natural disaster happens like a tornado or an earthquake. Number seven, report accidents if they occur. Report accidents to the right personnel when they occur. If you injure yourself or cause an accident, be sure to report it and follow the procedure immediately to help reduce the risk of further harm. Number eight, learn to lift objects carefully. Professionals advise lifting by squatting and using your knees when picking items instead of bending at your waist, because this can cause strain on your back and it may result in injury. Use equipment if necessary or ask for help in lifting heavy items. Back pain is a common workplace injury that can be avoided. Number nine, operate machinery that you are familiar with. Only operate machinery that you have been authorized to use. Some workplace equipment such as forklifts require training. Training can prevent misuse and provide proper safety knowledge and skills for operation of such machines to avoid accidents or injuries. Number 10, use caution sign. Use caution sign when applicable. For example, for wet floors, sign prevents slips on a floor after you mop or after a spill. Another example is road sign to notify drivers of workers or highway cleanup crews. It is important to place caution signs while walking and read and also obey caution signs placed by others. All of these will prevent unnecessary injuries and accidents. So now we're going to be seeing the meaning of first aid. First aid is defined as the immediate but simple medical attention given to the injured or sick person to preserve life and prevent the condition from getting worse before they are taken to the hospital. First aid includes cleaning minor cuts, scrapes, or scratches, treating a minor burn, applying bandages and dressings, the use of non-prescription medicines, and draining blisters. So this brings us to the question, who is a first aider? A first aider is one who has been trained to administer first aid. So now we're going to be seeing the first aid box. The first aid box is a box containing materials and tools used for carrying out first aid. So this brings us to essential content in the first aid box. They include plaster of different sizes for covering small wounds, a roll of plaster, blunt-ended scissors for cutting bandages or plasters. Then the other ones are antiseptic lotion to use with cotton wool and antiseptic wipes to disinfect wounds or injuries. Some triangular bandages and several safety pins for making a sling or emergency bandage. Sterile dressing of different sizes for covering wounds. These sterile dressings are in form of gauzes. They prevent bacteria or infection from entering the wound. Then the other is paracetamol or aspirins. These are to prevent or relieve pain. Antihistamine. This is for insect bites, stings, and allergic reactions. Twizzlers and tongs. Twizzlers are used for removing splinters. Splinters are little flesh particles, and they're also used for removing dirt and broken bottles from skin. While tongs are used to treat bleeding wounds using a sponge or a pad. It is used to dab the surface of the injury or wound. Tubular gauze bandage for finger injuries. We also have 2 or 3 crepe or conforming bandages for spraying and for wounds in awkward places such as elbows and ankles. So we'll be going over everything we've learned in this lesson. First of all, definition of safety. I said safety is freedom from danger. It is a protection from harm or injury. Then I also talked about workshop safety, and I said is a protection from risks or harm or injury to humans or damage to machine and tools in the workshop. Then we talked about safety precautions in the workshop. Then we started by talking about wearing the right kind of clothes, then how to react or respond to emergency. Then we also saw the meaning of first aid. And I define first aid as an immediate but simple medical attention given to an injured or sick person to preserve life and prevent condition from getting worse before they are taken to the hospital. They also saw the contents of the first aid box, such as Twizzlers, tongs, bandages of different kinds and used for different purposes. This brings us to the end of the lesson for today. See you in our next class.
1, 2, 3.